we saw in our skies this week as a result of climate change, all that we read in the paper on a daily basis. Hope is an act of defiance. But the alternative to hope, she says, is surrender. And there's not a chance we're going to surrender.
Oh, no way.
Our experience of God's love is something to be shared and proclaimed with the world. One of my favorite theologians, you know too, Howard Thurman.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
The great 20th century mystic. And so Professor Thurman was a mystic, but he said, our direct experience of God, our direct experience of God's grace and God's love calls us to organize for justice in the world. We experience God, and it calls us to action. That's exactly what you're doing for us. Not only for your church, for Terrytown, but for the whole diocese today. And it's an honor to be part of it. Mention two things today about what gives me hope. Our world and the fabric of the church. And it's our call in this generation to help dismantle it by repairing the breach, which has always been here. The Diocese of New York is committed to reparations for slavery. It'll increase that commitment in the years to come.
All right.
We have just chartered a credit union.
Yeah.
Now, so many people in all of our communities are unbanked. So many people in all of our communities have to go to corner stores to cash their checks and get incredible fees taken out. It is unjust.
Preach.
With our resources, we can change that. For the people in our pews, for the people in our programs, for people in our neighborhoods, we've started. We can increase that too. And finally, just look to the sky as to why we need to be part of taking on climate change. Look to the skies, look outside, and see why you and I can take action in our own buildings to change our carbon footprint. And we can do that. One final thing. June, of course, is Pride Month. I am so proud of the witness of the Episcopal Church across the Diocese of New York to Pride. But we know, and I hear from across the diocese, it's more difficult this year than in past years. We've had anti-LGBTQ protests in Westchester County, which our churches have witnessed against. We've had flags torn down and stolen from churches in Manhattan. You read about the anti-trans movement every day in the news. We know that we were fearfully and wonderfully made in the image of God. Every one of us. That's what Jesus said. That's what we preach. That's what we proclaim in our pulpits and outside our front doors. The world needs us more than ever to be part of God's healing. Thank you for listening today. Thank you for your hope. Father Bill said, what gives me hope? Well, it's you. The work you're doing and the work we're doing together as God's church. Thank you.
All right.